become a law firm buyer in 3 steps. First, let's talk about step 1. You have to determine if you are a buyer. What does that mean? If you're really ready to be a buyer. Truly, if you're ready, it's about you. Do you have the time? Do you have the capacity? Is this really the structure and point in your career or your firm's career that you are ready to buy and acquire a firm? Are you really ready in your life and in your firm for the growth that comes with acquisition? Not just, financial growth. Hopefully that's going to be part of it, but also the growth that comes with managing more people, right? Managing more clients, managing maybe multiple offices. Are you truly ready? It's a little bit of a soul searching aspect, but overall you have to determine, are you ready to make that commitment? And is it the right structure and step for you right now? If you determine you're ready and can go through it, then look at those next steps. But if you have some hesitation, focus on yourself, focus on your firm, get ready before you take those next steps. Next question, if you need to determine if you are a buyer, what's your role in your firm? And what I mean by this is, are you a CEO or are you the worker in the firm? Do you have time in the day to focus on management, system improvement? Have you removed yourself from maybe some of that client work and everything else? When you go, if you're running a firm now, or if you're sitting in a seat that has you billing 10 hours a day, you may have a tough challenge and transition to go to managing more, right? Because that takes time, that takes dedication and the effort. And if you don't have that time, you're not already in that management role or moving towards that management role, it's going to be a challenge. So move yourself towards that CEO role as lawyer of your firm versus being the worker and then just trying to take on more work when you don't have time to do it. So you look at what's your role within the firm. Then that third part, again, I've hit on it a couple times. Do you have the time? It really comes down to, do you have the time to acquire and to grow and to do more? If you're in a CEO role, if you've moved yourself financially or with the balance that you have in the systems and what you've built within your firm, or maybe you're leaving in-house and you're leaving another firm to be out and go out and become an owner, all of that's great, but make sure you have the time, just not to commit after the purchase, but that you have the time to commit to the buy side of it, the search of it, because that takes time. The acquisition process takes time. So you just want to make sure you really are ready to do it. With it, lots of benefits, but also you want to make sure you're physically, mentally, emotionally, and time-wise prepared to really go through that. So overall, I would say, number 1, determine if you're a buyer. If you go through that and you say, yes, I'm ready to do it, great. Step 2, get prepared. And get prepared, again, we're going to look at first piece, what are your purchase goals and your purpose? Yeah, to make more money, to grow my firm. Those are all easy goals, but really it's more of the specificity of what is your business plan? If you're going to target certain firms or certain attorneys or otherwise to acquire and grow, what's your model? Are you going to run a hub and spoke type model with your current practice areas and just have multiple offices? Are you going to look at diversifying your practice areas? So you want to grow and add different practice areas and kind of carry that forward. What's your branding going to be as you really grow and expand this model? These are all part of your purchase goals and purpose because it's really going to be, what are you looking for? What are you looking to do with it once you have it inside? Step 2 of get prepared, get financially ready. One of those things that's sometimes missed. Yeah, you have money in the bank. Maybe your firm's doing well or you're making good money where you are, but it's looking at what is it really going to cost to go through this acquisition? What can you afford? And the biggest way to do this is to go through and get pre-qualified with a lender. You can go on to lawpracticeexchange.com and look at some of the law firm lenders we have under our trusted resources. But overall, pre-qualification with the lender is a great way to know, what is it going to cost me? What can I afford? And what does it look like? What do I really need to be in the world of? Do I need to look at $1 million firms or $10 million firms? Do I know what I can spend on a search? And do I know what it's going to come back and cost once I actually find it and have to commit capital to it or financing to it or otherwise? So really look at getting financially ready. Your firm, you, looking at the funding sources, the financials, the lenders that are out there to know what it's going to cost and that you can commit the resources needed financially to do so. Point 3 on get prepared is identify really what you want. Location. What locations are you looking for? Geographic markets, otherwise. Practice area. What practice areas are ideal? Don't say all. Really narrow your focus down to find out what would be ideal and then go out and find that. What kind of model of firm? Are you looking for a firm that's been traditionally built, which is really an extension of the attorney? It's just got, the clients and the goodwill and you're willing to reshape. Are you looking for more of that CEO model firm where you're just going to step in and manage and everything else? What kind of revenue size? Again, it goes back to what you can afford, what's your plan, everything else. But what is the revenue size for the firm targets that you're looking at? And ultimately, what do you want your role to be in this, right? Because that's going to help identify what type of firms may be good match for your targets through buying or otherwise. So again, get prepared. What are your purchase goals? Look at getting financially ready and identify what you want. The last step of becoming a buyer, step 3, finding the right opportunity. Start with determining your buying plan. We've kind of talked about it a little bit in these previous steps, but determine what your buying plan is. What's your timeline? How aggressive do you want to be in the market, right? Is it just like, well, we'll see what comes along and go from there? Or is it really you want to make an acquisition in 6 months? If that's the key to make an acquisition in 6 months, right? You have to know that you need to have your firm ready, your financials ready. You need to have more of an active prioritized search than potentially one that you're just waiting for the right opportunity. How big of a priority is it to you is key to determining your buying plan. And then what are going to be the steps once you find one, right? What are those buying steps, those due diligence steps? If you've got your lender, you've got your other resources lined up, everything else. Step 3 is finding the right opportunity. When you really look at finding the right opportunity, you start with determining your buying plan. We've talked about this and it kind of builds on the previous steps. But when we talk about determining your buying plan, we talk about what's your timeline. How big of a priority is it for you to do this? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? Is it just wait and see for the right opportunity to come along? Well, that timeline matters because how big of a priority you put is how much prep you'll put into it. If it is a high priority, you want to find something in the next 6 months, next 12 months, then you're going to want to make sure your firm's ready, your due diligence process is ready, your financing is ready, right? All of these different things of what your plan is are going to come into play. And you're going to look at what are the steps going to be when I find that right opportunity, right? Who are the key people on my team that I'm going to help, or that will help kind of go through and deploy this buying plan for me, the integration of the firm from a marketing side, from an operations side, everything of that nature. Point 2, under finding the right opportunity, where and how to search for firms. You can directly search for firms. You can reach out to firms around you that may not have succession plans or may be looking at different opportunities, right, through merger, acquisition, sale, otherwise. You can definitely directly search. You can contact your bar associations, your lawyer insurance companies. All of them may have opportunities to kind of connect. Legal associations, same thing of reaching out to, good, maybe peer, but senior firms that you could come in and be that succession. So direct search is always an opportunity to kind of carry that forward. You can work with a broker or a consultant or advisor like us at the Law Practice Exchange. One, you can be a passive to just keep an eye on the marketplace that we have, check out those opportunities as they kind of come forward. Or if you figured out your buying plan is one of priority, you can go active and actually deploy somebody like the broker in the Law Practice Exchange to go out and find you that. Use that confidential and kind of reach to go out and find your targets that you've identified what you want in step 2 and go out and find it, right? To have an active basic search to go out and find you that right buyer opportunity. Really the key is, do you want to be active or do you want to be passive? The question again goes back to determining your buying plan and if you're ready and everything else that goes with it. If you're active, then you want to go and really put some emotions into place. Are you going to contact 5 firms, go through that in the first month? Do you want to hire the Law Practice Exchange to go on active search? All of these different things are part of your determination. It's really how big of a priority is it for you to have law firm growth as part of acquisition? Couple reminders under finding the right opportunity and to serve you well. 1, everything should be confidential, meaning confidentiality agreements, non-disclosure agreements, give the seller or any potential seller discussions the benefit of that And you'll probably want that too. Before things go too far, get those confidentiality agreements in place to make sure everything stays quiet and otherwise. The other piece is emotions, right? Emotions under finding that right opportunity, typically from the seller side. You got to remember that a lot of our sellers out there are looking at this as their exit, their retirement, and that's a scary thing for a lot of lawyers. So remember, emotions can play part in all discussions, all financial, what do they want for their practice? You may see it as unreasonable, but there may be some emotion behind that, and they just need some help of kind of seeing, the actual, numbers of the transaction. And they're more so the fear of, retirement, exit, not being a lawyer is kind of fueling potentially unreasonable expectations. So remember, emotions do play into it. That's a lot of where we come in as a broker to help take those emotions out, or at least be the mediator, intermediary in those. The last piece is, again, looking at how often and how much you want to devote to this process. If you want to be an active participant in this, then you need to devote the time, resources consistently to do so. So what I would say is make sure you know that it's not once you kind of find an opportunity that you can wait on it for weeks or anything else. That's where in this marketplace, especially, we've seen the speed up of offers. You're going to have to move. So having your financing, having your purchase goals, everything in place is really going to help you not just take these first steps, but be successful in taking all steps to closing a transaction. Thanks so much, and I appreciate it. Please visit us at thelawpracticeexchange.com.